Hey, welcome everybody to our Thursday special, You Can't Make This Up. And today I have a guest with me because we are in Dallas, Texas at the pre-trib conference. And believe me, we're going to be talking about things that you can't make up, including, here's just one of the items. Over in Gaza, the terrorists are saying how evil the Israelis are because they have no electricity. However, as one reporter showed, well, it's funny, if they have no electricity, they've been able to charge up all of their cell phones, record videos, and manage to send those videos all around the world, and yet they don't have electricity. So the lies that are out there are pretty astounding. We're going to get into that, plus what the Biden administration is doing. And again, Olivier, this is called You Can't Make This Up. And I mean, there are some very interesting things. And can I have one bit of humor before we get started?
One bit of humor? I have to think of something.
I've got something for you.
What?
No, you got something?
No, I don't.
You're going to make fun of me?
No, I'm not going to make fun of you. In my New Year's resolution, in next month, I'm going to take you seriously and not make fun of you.
See? Were your fingers crossed? So check this out. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, this was sent in from Donna from Canada. And by the way, Donna, she already knows this. She's going to get blessed. She's going to get a download of the Rapture Kit as just a thank you for her sending this in. Hey, if you send something to us and we're able to use it, we'll get you whatever we can. And so here's this. Check this out. Thank you, Donna, man who donated his mother's body to an Arizona Center for Alzheimer's Research discovers it was sold to the U.S. military for $6,000, strapped to a chair and blown up in a blast test. So, I mean, I'm looking at this. You got to be kidding me. You can't make this up.
This is Babylon.
I mean, you would think. I mean, I shouldn't be laughing.
No, it's tragic.
It's terrible. It's terribly tragic. Oh. And you look, you go, you can't make this up. No, this is an awful thing. And you look, you go, what the world is going on? But we hear all these different things that are happening. Now that is an old story.
Well, I got one
from a few years ago. But you look at that and you go, just the crazy things that are out there. Yes, what do you got?
I just found out yesterday, here at the conference, from a reliable source, that the Defense Department is saying that the U.S. citizens cannot purchase and commercially send vests and night goggles for Israel unless they purchase the same amount to give to the Palestinians. So it'll be stopped, and it's already started. So people, and we know, you and I know some pastors from other churches who actually are taking stuff to Israel. So people have to be creative in the way they send stuff. They have to take it with them in suitcases or whatever. But commercially, they put a stop to it. So you cannot purchase and send on their own money. You cannot send it to Israel. The only way is if you send the same amount to the Palestinian. What does that say?
That's just that. So when you're sending them to the Palestinians, it's not the Palestinian people. It's Hamas.
It's Hamas.
That's what's really going on. So if you're going to send one vest to here, you have to send a vest to the terrorists. I mean, just totally insane. So what this does is it effectively shuts down support for Israel.
Well, from one side of their mouth, they say Israel has a right to defend herself, and on the other side, they go like, but as long as we can arm the other side equally, then you can defend yourself. It makes no sense at all. This current administration is not a friend of Israel. We've seen it.
No, they're not a friend of Israel at all. In fact, when we look at what they've really done, they've really funded indirectly the terrorists by their support of Iran and the billions of dollars given to Iran. We know that Iran is going to give all of their money and their arms and weapons to the terror organizations that fight as their proxies.
Yeah.
And that's what Hamas is. And they're fighting against Israel. And they do it with the Houthis down south.
Exactly. Now, I don't know if you saw another one that really, really bothered me. And that was about a week ago, I think. And I forgot where I saw it. It's one of those sources that you and I use that we know are reliable, because nowadays you really have to be careful where you get your news from. And the current U.S. administration is... and I don't know if this started or they're considering starting denying visas to Israelis coming from the settlements. If they come from the occupied I don't like that word. The
Unbelievable.
occupied territories, they cannot come to the U.S. They will not be given a visa.
Yeah. I mean, this is just absolutely unbelievable what is taking place. When I look and think, God says, I will bless those who bless thee, I'll curse those who curse thee, going back to the promise that he made to Abraham and his descendants forever. America is really in a place of cursing, not just abandoning Israel, but really cursing Israel. And we see anti-Semitism, the uprising of it all over the world. In fact, you have your books on anti-Semitism.
Right.
You have them available. We also have them available in the Hope for Our Time store. And I look at these things. We have a documentary that you and I did also.
Yeah, and that was a while ago, and we're already exposing what we're talking about now.
Yeah, and all of can you hold up your books? All of these things are available at the Hope for Our Time store.
So this is a new one.
Documentary.
That's this. I'm talking about this one at the conference this afternoon, actually. And this is the normalization of anti-Semitism when the oldest hatred becomes the new normal. This is where we are right now. And I make 10 points. And here's the interesting part. In this book, I make 10 points, and they're very, they're all built upon each other. Apathy, lack of education, desensitization, low incorrect reporting, no accountability, empowerment, demonization of the defenders, increased persecution of Jews and defenders, encouragement to kill. And I tell people, those 9 are already in place. The only one that's not in place, when I wrote the book, when it came out in February of this year, the last one was mass murder of Jews. I need to revise it.
Yeah, you do. I mean, well, you really do. Because we see this. I mean, we're hearing the call for kill all the Jews. All over the world we're hearing, even coming from churches. Absolutely awful what is taking place. All right, and then we're sitting here getting ready for this. We look at the news that's coming out today. And we see some of the headlines in some of the news, things that are taking place today. And what do we read? We're sitting here watching this camera right here.
Oh, I took a picture.
Listen, Israel under mounting pressure as war intensifies. Know that. But you got to hear this, folks. It's the spin that is taking place.
Look at the way they do the headlines. Palestinians flee ahead of Israel's urban assault.
Read that again.
Palestinians flee ahead of Israel's urban assault on MSNBC. So nothing about what took place on October 7th. The world forgot within a week.
Yeah. Oh, and with the ceasefire, what do I see coming out of the New York Times and Bloomberg and everywhere else? What do they say? Israel not honoring ceasefire or something like that, whatever it was, just total insanity. When in reality, it was Hamas who started firing the rockets again to break the ceasefire, and Israel responds. And what does the world say? This is what Israel has done. Look, they've gone back to war. There's supposed to be a ceasefire. Total spin on it. Now listen to this one also, coming out from something that we just saw here while sitting here. I'm going to pull it up for you guys. Got to hear these things because literally you can't make this stuff up.
No, you can't.
Let me see where I can find it here. Give me just a second, folks. I will get there.
In my let me say this while you look for it. In my definition of anti-Semitism, I use 2 keywords: irrational and demonic. And this anti-Semitism that we see globally right now is irrational because it is demonic. Satan is behind it. He wants to get rid of the Jews once and for all. And right now, he's I think he feels like he's like on his last go around because his time is short. And so he's going to go after the Jews full force. The monster is out of the box. It's not going back in. It's only going to get worse.
This is satanic. Satan is showing his cards, and he wants the world to know, and he's gathering his people.
Yeah,
is what he's doing. He's gathering his people against Israel.
Yeah.
Listen to this another item out of MSNBC. The way they spin this. Nowhere is safe in Gaza, and there's nowhere left to go. The conditions required to deliver aid to the people of Gaza do not exist. If possible, an even more hellish scenario is about to unfold, one in which humanitarian operations may not be able to respond. I mean, this is, in other words, look at how bad Israel is.
Look at the extremist West Bank settlers hit with U.S. visa ban. We just talked about it.
Extremists, yeah.
Excuse my...
Just talk about, there it is.
Yeah, extremists.
Call them extremists.
No, I know. I mean, so they're Jewish people in their own land. They're called extremists, and then the terrorists are called freedom fighters. We live in a bizarro, upside-down world.
Well, Isaiah wrote that, right? Well, it's wrong is right. What's right will be wrong. And we are watching it. So I'm watching probably about a month ago, and what the Biden administration, the spin with Blinken and the whole bit, was talking about the people in the settlements, label them all as extremists. They're worried as weapons were being supplied through private organizations in America to supply Israeli police with weapons they needed. The Biden administration, somewhere in there, said it's not going to happen because those weapons are actually going to be used by these radical extremists in the settlements that are out killing everybody, when the fact is they're not. Yet you have the terrorists that are constantly threatening. And by the way, they call them settlements. Well, wait a minute. This is Israeli territory. All you got to do is look at world history, be honest. Yeah. Don't be listening to the lies. Be honest and look at the truth of what really happened in Gaza, how the so-called West Bank, which is really Judea, Samaria, the Golden Heights, you start looking at these things and how tiny Israel is, and you're going, this is nuts. And they say Israel, the Jews are occupying Arab land. Look at a map. All you got to do is look at a map and say
less than 1%. That's just ridiculous.
It is totally ridiculous.
It's the Jewish land. It goes back, biblical times. I mean, you go through the 1917 Balfour Declaration, 1920 San Remo Conference, 1947 vote of the United Nations for the partitioning, and then 1948 Israel born as a nation. All that, I mean, you put all that together, there's no way around it. And yet, the false Palestinian narrative has been fed to the world for the last 60 years, and now people are not even questioning it. Now the victims have become the perpetrators have become the victim. That's one of the major criteria in this new anti-Semitism, where now the Jews are called the Nazis of the Middle East. The victims have become the perpetrators. It's crazy. Christians need to speak up and stand up for Israel more than ever.
I was like calling the Jew the Nazi, but you see the spin that is taking place, just absolutely wicked. And so we're looking at all of these different things, these different dynamics developing. Olivier, you're Jewish, a Jewish believer.
Yes.
There's this video. In fact, we're going to show you guys this video right now. It's a Jew and an Arab. It appears to be, I think it's in Jerusalem. Check out this video as they work through dialogue with each other. And it'll be back in just seconds, about a minute long.
ايش الوهيم אחד בסופו של דבר זה יש כאן الله واحد גם בקוראן יהודי יותר מדי רשום יהודים עם ישראל
רשום המון. אני ברמת העיקרון יהודים ומוסלמים צריכים לעבוד ביחד. אנחנו השותפים הכי טבעיים בעולם, שנינו מאמינים באל אחד. קוראן, כמו שאמרת, מדבר על עם ישראל. אנחנו בתורה מדברים על בני ישמעאל. בסוף הדבר זה העתיד שלנו, הגורל שלנו, אני מאמין, זה לעבוד ביחד. אנחנו יהודים, אנחנו שומעים אנשים שאומרים, אתה יודע מה, יהודים אין להם מקום בארץ הזו, אין להם מקום במזרח תיכון. אתה יודע כמה סבלנו בגלות, כמה סבלנו בכל העולם. אז לכן חשוב לנו את הביטחון, אתה יודע את זה. אני יודע שחשוב לך את הכבוד והחופש הביטוי והחופש תנועה, זה דברים שחשובים לך, נכון?
אתה מדבר עברית טוב, זה עושים להפך. צודק. הכבוד זה...
אז הכבוד זה הכי חשוב. כשאתה מבין אותי בתור יהודי, שמה שהכי חשוב זה הביטחון, ואני מבין אותך, שאתה בתור ערבי, את מה שהכי חשוב זה כבוד, אז ביחד, איך אנחנו משלבים את הדברים האלה?
מסתדרים ממש, בלי שום בעיות, גם ואנשים רואים אותנו מקנים.
נכון, מקנים.
גם ממש אותו דבר.
שיהודים וערבים יעמדו ביחד, פה במזרח תיכון, נשנה את כל העולם. יאללה.
תמשיך, אני אקרא, תמשיך עם הטיפ שלך, אני ממש, גם שוב אני אקח.
All right, so we see that video, Olivier, we see a video like that. It's emotional, you think this is great, they're going to get along. However, the reality of it is, I know many Muslims in Israel. I know many Jews in Israel. Prior to October 7, most of them were really trying to get along. But you look now...
They tolerated each other. And they try to get along, and to an extent it worked. But since October 7, the Jewish people in Israel who have worked with Arabs within Israel, I'm not talking about Gaza, I'm not talking about the Judea Samaria, I'm talking about the Jewish people who work with Arabs, Palestinian, inside Israel, feel betrayed. And right now, at this point, it might change, but right now they feel like they cannot trust anybody. They cannot trust any of the Arabs in Israel because they've been betrayed. I mean, they lost 1,200 people, bloody murder, carnage. And so it's a problem. And then we see a video like this, and I watch it and I go like, this is nice. I mean, it's beautiful to see Arabs and Jews. And the only way an Arab and a Jew, and I've seen it, the only way an Arab and a Jew can get along, it's in Yeshua. Because the Arab is born again in Yeshua Jesus, the Jew is born again in Yeshua Jesus, and they have that common ground of the Messiah. And then everything is put aside. And I've seen it happen, not a lot, but I've seen it. But the real peace that people talk about, that real peace, you and I know when it's going to come. It's going to come when Yeshua returns.
Yeah. We pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Right. That is ultimately when it's going to come.
Coming of the return of Yeshua.
Olivia, I think of this Isaiah chapter 62. For Zion's sake, I will not hold my peace, and for Jerusalem's sake, I will not rest until her righteousness goes forth as brightness, and her salvation as a lamp that burns. The Gentiles shall see your righteousness, all kings your glory. You shall be called by a new name which the mouth of the Lord will name. You shall also be a crown of glory in the hand of the Lord, and a royal diadem in the hand of your God. You shall no longer be termed forsaken, nor shall your land any more be termed desolate, but you shall be called Hephzibah, and your land Beulah. For the Lord delights in you, and your land shall be married. And of course, it goes on from
Look at verse 6. Actually, it's on the other page, I think. That's my favorite verse of that passage.
Thank you. I have set a watchman. I have set watchmen on your walls, O Jerusalem. They shall never hold their peace day or night. You who make mention of the Lord, do not keep silent.
That is it's actually 62:6. Isaiah 62:6 in the recent months has become my new life verse, because I see what I've been doing for 23 years on fighting anti-Semitism and educating the people come to me and go, you 23 years ago you spoke prophetically. Well, I wouldn't go that far. I'm a little uncomfortable with that title, but I have been a watchman for 23 years, and I've been telling people, watch, it's coming, prepare, it's coming, educate yourself so that you can help Jewish people when the time is coming. Well, the time is here. We're not even in the rapture. The rapture and the tribulation are ahead of us, not coming yet, but we are at a place right now where the world is going full force against the Jews. And so I consider myself a watchman. You're a watchman. You see what's going on, and you tell people. And then what we can do is to call people to action, to be a voice. Because Christians, I don't know if I want to go into this, but I see a lot of Christians that understand Jewish people academically and theologically and biblically. But when it comes to Christians really understanding Jewish people on a human level and doing something to help them, that includes the gospel, but doing something humanitarian, I see less of that. Right now is the time for the Christians today to show their unconditional love for the Jewish people, regardless of their response. We need to be there for Israel.
Amen. I love that. What a great place to end this on. Great note and what we should be doing. There it is. I think that could be all of our life verses right now. Yep. Isaiah chapter 62, verse 6. What a great passage. Again, Olivier, his books, DVD, the documentary we did, you can check it out at the Hope for Our Time store, hopeforOurTime.com. But Olivier, how can people follow you?
They can. I'm going to go this way.
Hey, you didn't make fun of me today. He started his New Year's resolution early.
I'm sorry. So people can follow me. I have a blog site, anti-Semitism.com, with a lot of my information on there. But also, I would love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I put a lot of teaching. I do a daily devotional, and sometimes I even invite people like Tom Hughes on my channel. And we did one recently. It was a lot of fun. So come to my YouTube channel, subscribe, and you can email me through that YouTube channel if you have any questions about what you can do to help Jewish people today. And there's a lot you can do. So reach out. I'll be there for you. Shalom.
Great. Olivier Melnick, check it out. And also, if you would, please like, subscribe, and share this. Listen, the only way we get the truth out is to share it. We share the gospel Amen. Of the Lord Jesus Christ. We share these messages. It helps us to be faithful as being watchmen. God bless you guys. Thank you for joining us, and look forward to seeing you live coming up on Sunday night. Shalom.